Good day, everyone, and this is one of SuperScreen specials, red carpet specials at the Advantage Conference, a business and career conference in Ikeja, Lagos State. And there has been already a couple of guest speakers, and we just listened to one of them. And we are going to have lots of interviews here, and we are also going to interview some of the participants and also the convener of this first of its kind at the Advantage Conference.
But something happened in 2 years. I took a step, went to learn, trained, equipped myself, became better in my profession, and my value increased. Exactly 2 years, I left and moved into the banking system, and I moved in there at a much higher level with a salary of 116,000 naira. For the sacrifice of 2 years. And from that day, the journey has been upward and forward. What did he do for me there? He gave me the foundation I needed to excel in every other stage. And that is what is lacking today. That is what is lacking today. Sometimes we are too much in a hurry. Sometimes we are not listening to what the Holy Spirit is telling us. Sometimes we are not allowing Him, letting Him to guide us in the path that we should walk. But it ought not to be.
I'm involved in things that maybe you ask them, why are you on this job? I need a job. I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my bills. I have to pay the children's school fees. That's why they're on the job. Because they need money. They need a job. That's not a deliberate life. That's not deliberately doing or practicing anything in your career. But when you know this is your calling, this is a vision that God is giving you, then that's the first step to practicing even a career deliberately. You have to know and be convinced so that against all odds, you will be standing and you will do your best. Now, when we're talking about practicing deliberately, okay, did you get the slide on this background? I want to go back there. When you talk about practicing anything deliberately, are we there? You know, to practice anything deliberately, can you read what is there? Okay, can you chorus it for me?
We are still taking interviews at the Advantage Conference here in Ikeja, Lagos. And I have here one of the members of the organizing committee. And please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, good day. My name is Kome. I'm actually one of the members of the organizing committee, like she said.
Okay, yes, there's a whole lot of talk about women, you know, gaining more grounds in business, gaining more grounds in career. You know, there should be more inclusion. It's still Women's History Month. This is March, Women's History Month. Sunday will be Mother's Day, and we've had International Women's Day. So do you think from this conference you will be able to inspire more young women to go into business and career?
Yes, most definitely yes. There's one of the speakers said. She said the choices you make now is what's going to affect your tomorrow. And then she said, if you know what you want to achieve tomorrow, start working on it right now, like deliberately working on it. To every woman out there, I'll tell you this. The fact that you're a woman doesn't mean you cannot achieve you can't achieve big things. You can't be a CEO. Nobody says that. No one says you can't have your fleet of cars. No one says you can't have your companies. No one says that. You have to make that choice right now. You have to be challenged. They say it is a man's world. I'm not speaking to be a feminist right now, but I have to tell you the truth. In as much as they think it's a man's world, it is also a woman's world, because women thrive more. I don't know if you've been out, and there are most places that women can go into that men can't actually go into. So use that advantage, move forward, dream big as a woman. You will see that people will come to support you, whatever you want to do.
Wow, wow, that's really great and inspiring. There's a whole lot of talk in Nigerian space that from last year that perhaps most of Nigerian youths are lazy. They want the fast and easy way, to get money. And we've heard from a lot of speakers talking about morality, value, But on social media, it looks like morality, value has been thrown off the window, is non-existent. So, do you think from this conference there will be a change in the mindset of young people?
Most definitely, yes. I mean, I can actually speak for myself too. I mean, from everything, like two speakers have already gone up, and from what they've said, it's made me sit and reflect. I had to go and meet one of the speakers afterwards, and I was like, "Ma, thank you so much for these things that you said." When it comes to morality, look, you cannot really go far if you do not work on your attitude and your character. Even though I know in our society today we see a lot of people that they just brush people off and they talk anyhow and they don't care and they don't mind, which if you keep up that kind of attitude, well, it may get you to some places, but believe me, you cannot handle every sphere, every people in every sphere of life. So you have to improve in your morals, improve your character, and improve in your attitude. It will bring you to the right people and people that will be willing to help you.
Well, so where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Where do you see the Advantage Conference in 5 years' time?
Wow! First of all, I see the Advantage Conference way big. I mean, we are going from city to city. We just did this in Ikeja. Definitely, we're going to do it in more places in Lagos. But then we're going to go from state to state, carrying the Advantage Conference into different cities. It might be your city. I don't know. You might see me next to your city. I don't know. I can't say. And then for myself, from what I've gotten here, some things really struck me. One of the speaker said we should write down 3 things that we want to achieve and research on them. Recently, I had been doing a research on something. I had this idea. I want to stand up a foundation, so I had been researching on it. This stuff, when I just heard her say that today, it's increased my drive. I'm like, definitely in the next 5 years I would have started this up. I would have made a name, and then in other things I want to do in media and entertainment, I definitely would have made a mark from what I learned today. Now, except I choose to throw it away, but as long as I decide to keep to it, I know that I'll come back with results.
Hi, my name is Joshua Theophilus, and in the organizing committee I work with the media and publicity team for the Advantage Conference Ikeja. Thank you.
Okay, so how have you seen the conference so far? The participation from those you've invited, young people, and also the guest speakers. How have you seen it so far?
Well, so far in the conference, I would say the participation is actually excellent. My invitees in specific, the ones that are here, they are so excited that they made it here, and some of them are already posting on their social media platforms and timelines that they are learning a lot, and the conference is actually huge than even what they expected. And those that couldn't make it down, they are even texting me, sending WhatsApp messages like, wow, sir, can you share some things that are being taught in the conference with us? And I'm like, okay, we'll look forward to opportunity to share with you guys, and they feel really bad for missing the conference.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm happy you're in the media and publicity committee, because what's going on, in the media from last year or 2 years ago was that most of Nigerian youths are lazy, and this is a business and career conference. So it's like trying to change the mindset of people, of young people, on working diligently, not taking the far. What do you think?
It's actually a very good opportunity for young persons, and like one of the things I've learned today, even though I have been busy working, is that when you're thinking about career success, when you're thinking about development, you have to let the Holy Spirit be in charge. You don't have to rush, you don't have to be in a haste, because if you be in a haste, there are so many things you'll get to miss out. So you need to take your time and consider everything you need to do step by step. Consider some smart goals, and also you don't have to be money conscious, you have to be value conscious. So you have to develop yourself and be valuable, that even where you want to take yourself to, and the people that will be looking out for you will definitely be looking out for you, not because they can afford you, but because they know what you want to bring into the organization and team. And believe me, the people that are here, they're so going to learn so much, and most of them, like most of my invitees, they are people that are just about looking for a job. And I keep telling them as friends, you don't have to start hunting jobs up and down, but you need to develop yourself in a way that people will now be looking for you. Because I, for once, I just finished a program where I didn't apply for any job, but I got offers that I have to choose from what I want, and it's the mindset that our pastor has taught us.
Well, that's great. So, in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? Where do you see the Advantage Conference? Those who you've invited, where do you see everything yourself in 5 years?
Like Pastor Monica Zuni told us, he said we should see challenges as an opportunity for testimonies. Definitely in 5 years' time, I'm seeing the people I'm inviting today for this conference having greater portfolios in organizations and agencies around, and most of them are in the same industry with me. So I see them that as I'm growing too, they'll be growing, and in 5 years' times, we definitely should be the speakers in Advantage Conference. Glory.
Thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure we'll see more of you in there.
Thank you very
We
much.
have here amazing gospel artists. I think I'm sure most people are asking the question: are they brothers or twins? So, but please introduce yourselves.
Okay, my name is Kenny.
Okay.
My name is Taiwo.
Okay.
TAK.
Okay, TAK. Wow, we just had a session there, and it was really inspiring. Like, I also took notes too, and I know Pastor Monica Abu also spoke a lot about entertainment industry being the number one. Packaging yourself. From this conference, what do you think would be your take out of this conference? What do you think young people, you and young people in there, would take out of this conference?
Oh, for me, what I'm taking out of this conference is the word deliberate. Deliberate. She kept mentioning the word deliberate. That means you have to be intentional about what you do. So you're not shadowboxing. Whatever you make up your mind to do, take deliberate steps towards doing those things. Don't just don't be vague. Be specific, and then you hit the nail on the head. And when you set out, of course, God is willing and much more than ready to work with such a person. When you are deliberate about what you want to do and you go for it, God is looking for go-getters, not people that set goals or set targets for themselves, but those that would go and achieve those targets. So I'm taking that word deliberate. So whatever I'm doing, I'm being deliberate. I've been deliberate, and I'm even increasing the density, to greater measure. So for us as TAK, we would even do much more, with what we're doing in the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. I mean, we have what we call the mandate with TAK, and it's a soul winning music and art outreach soul winning initiative, and we're going all out. We're going all out. The word deliberate is what I'm taking home. Deliberate about everything. So there's nothing like I'm just doing it. No, we're not just doing it. It's intentional. It is.
That's good. There are a lot of young people in there, and Pastor Monica said things about morals, about values, and most of the time, we see that, especially on social media, young people, it's almost like morality doesn't exist, almost non-existent right now. So what do you think from this conference? Do you think it will change the mindset of young people everywhere?
Definitely, it will at the largest extent, because I heard when she was talking about how you dress, and your life being the first message that they see before, giving a statistics of how many people really post Bible on scriptures on the internet today. Not so many, but your life one-on-one, that they see is what they look at, and then they want to be like you. So be sure that you are pulling more to God than chasing more or people away from God. And then one of those things that I hold, and I'm taking away from this conference, is to bet myself in other people. To say you've not started living. You've not started living if you've not been you're not a blessing to somebody, you're not impacting somebody, you've not started living. So until you're a blessing, until you help somebody stand, until somebody, they point at somebody and they say, they can trace and say, oh, okay, this man, they can just trace it, and then you see that you're a blessing at the end of the day. So you're not
Yeah.
actually standing
Yeah.
until you help somebody to stand.
To stand.
That's it.
Wow. So in 5 years' time, where do you see TAK?
The brand
Yeah,
TAK. Well,
yeah.
the brand TAK going global.
Wow.
Like Pastor said, in 3 years at least there should be a plan.
Okay,
In
yeah.
5 years, the plan is to go even much more global. We're already global, with a man of God,
Yes.
but the name being global, and with regards to what we do, which is the initiative called the Mandate with TAK,
Yeah.
being global, reaching out to youth and teenagers all over the world. I see the Mandate with TAK outreach concerts
Yeah.
organized in Brazil,
Wow.
in Venezuela,
Wow. That's
in Zimbabwe, in Paris, all over the world, with the same message, undiluted, all over. That's where I see TAK. That's where I see the Mandate with TAK, and of course the message according to a man of God is what we preach. We're just a vent, expressing whatever he says in words in music.
Wow, wow, that's great. Thank you so much for your time. I have here one of the speakers, one of the guest speakers, and she just gave her session. She just had her session, and a very inspiring session. Please, may I introduce yourself?
My name is Pastor Monica Zuni Abu.
Okay, yeah, I was in there and I got fired up. I got really inspired. And you talked a whole lot about deliberately practicing things. You talked about values, about morals. Right now in society ruled by social media, it's almost like values, morals are being thrown out of the window. What do you think about it?
No, but you're very correct, and that's why we must reiterate the fact that in pursuing our life goals, we have to be led by values. What do we believe in? And I mentioned there, I said the things that are most surely believed amongst us. As Christians, we shouldn't be confused with unbelievers because of the way we pursue our goals and our dreams. We must understand that that is the opportunity, and many times the only window we have to even preach the gospel. Pastor has told us about our chariots being our work and our career, so we have to use it for the advantage of the gospel.
Yes, in there are lots of young people. This conference is about young people, youths, and there was a talk about Nigerian youths being lazy or not being lazy, and there's a whole lot of talk about unemployment and young people having businesses. You gave us real life experiences, your experience, business experiences. So do you think from this conference there will be a change in the mindset of young people, not taking the fast way, but working diligently in business?
The truth is that I've been in ministry, like I said, for 28 years, right from campus. So I already had a mindset, listening to my man of God, Pastor Chris. And I believe, apart from the invited guests, most of the brethren in there actually have this kind of mindset. We're not seeking shortcuts, we're not lazy, but we're going to put this knowledge that we have learned today about having structures, understanding emotional intelligence into what we are doing, so we become what experts, we excel. There's going to be a deliberate practice to make you an expert, so you're not just a nominal at what you do. You put a deliberate system in place to help you achieve the top most range or rank of anything that you choose to do. It's achievable, really, and the advantage that we have, like I said, there is the Holy Spirit. Fantastic place to be.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Creating experts among the Nigerian youths is put together by the Love World Graduates Network. I'm Ify Ubah for SuperScreen.